Hello, hello! Perfidious Pete here, rip snorting and raring to get down into the perilous passages and treacherous tunnels of Perfidious Manor as we ready ourselves for the Fiends and Frenzy content update in Darkest Dungeon. That's right, as of recording this, today was the day the new content patch came out, and in addition to a bunch of new trinkets and bosses, we've also got two brand new classes to send into the grim dark of the Warren's Weald and Estate. This update features the additions of the Man-at-Arms, a sword-and-board combat hog with an eye towards defense, and the Arbalest, a nigh-immovable frontline tank armed with a mighty crossbow capable of laying low even the mightiest of targets. Now, unfortunately, we won't likely be seeing either an Arbalester or a Man-at-Arms on this run, of course, because they haven't had an opportunity to show up on our stagecoach yet. We still have the 5 troopers that we got last time. And given the Tom Cruise crazy appeal of the stagecoach driver, I can't say I blame them for being a little hesitant to climb aboard, but nevertheless, I'm sure his big white shiny smile will lure them on board soon enough, and in the meantime, I'm ambitious to take a, shall we say, expendable crew into the dungeon. There have been a lot of tweaks to monster AI, and higher level dungeon monsters behave considerably differently than they have in the past. So before we take a run at one of the big 3 bosses, I feel a little exploratory dungeon jabbing is in order, and I just want to kind of feel it out, see how it's going. So let's take this one the way your grandmother takes getting into the bathtub, slow and steady. You'll see what missions are available here. And when I say a somewhat expendable crew, I definitely mean a somewhat expendable crew. We're going to be very, very careful here. Chrysania, the Puff Puff Pass scroll should be... Yep, no, that's not it, actually. There it is. Let's give Chrysania Puff Puff Pass. And we're going to take... Yeah, let's do a veteran mission with all rank 4 troopers. I really kind of like that. So Chrysania is going to be bringing up the rear. We could do, we could do a little Simpkin action. We have been enjoying Simpkin's participation. We could do Fagin or Arya Stark as well. Something to be said for that. We're not really sure what we're going to encounter. You know what? We might be better off to bring Fagin on this one, actually. Let's do Fagin, actually. Let's do Fagin, yeah. I want to make love to a Victorian thief. No, I mean, let's upgrade Fagin as much as we can upgrade him. We've got the cash. We're going to bring him in. Let's have him going in fully upgraded. I did play a little bit of Darkest Dungeon earlier today on a brand new save game, just to kind of feel it out. One thing I will point out, haven't played any of the higher level stuff yet, but the early game stuff is dramatically more difficult than it used to be. It is well harder than it previously was. It is pretty goddamn rough starting out on a new crew. And I would, if you're watching this and haven't yet started a new run, I would definitely advise against trying to take a run with low rank troopers where you don't use torches, because lightless runs at low rank are effectively fucking suicide. They are exceedingly dangerous. Who do we want to take as our 4th man? We got Chrysania. We're taking Fagin. You know what? We should probably not take an abundance of... Let's do Brienne, Chrysania, Fagin, and you know what? Let's take Deckard. He's fully... Yeah, he's... no, because Fagin and Deckard actually won't go well together. Fagin and Deckard do not get along. So that would mean either Arya Stark or possibly Dorian Gray. We get that... Dorian has the most experience of our level 3 guys. That's kind of a... Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's do Dorian. All right. So that's going to be our team then. We can get it sorted. So it'll Brienne in the 2nd position, Fagin in front, and have Dorian Gray in the 3-hole, and that'll leave Chrysania bringing up the rear. Ah, no team name for this one. What a jip. That is something they added as well. Team names now, for different assortments and different positions, they have unique names. Apparently this one didn't get a name. We've got lucky dice already. They did add something now where you can sell trinkets at the Nomad Wagon, so additional extra cash for crap you don't want, like, say, this stun charm, which is a piece of garbage. We don't really... we do need crests. So we've got collect 3 medicines. Got a medium to gather 3 grain sacks. A medium actually would be a nice sort of feeler mission, really. Which one has the most crests? That one's got 7 grand in gold. Doesn't really matter, actually. These are all basically the same. Let's do the... yeah, you know what? Let's do the Weald. That's fine. And on this one, since we've got cash to spare, I'm going way crazy on the consumables and expendables, especially food. So I'm going to take way more food than I ordinarily would. I'm going to take 32 food is good. I'm taking 4 shovels without a doubt. One of everything else, and torches, 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 torches. Because I am not going to try my hand at a lightless run on my first exploration into the new, more difficult dungeons. One thing the monster AIs are considerably better at now is focus firing, which you can somewhat mitigate a bit if you have a man-at-arms. The man-at-arms has an ability called Defend, wherein he steps in front of a blow for another unit, but we don't have any man-at-arms now, so if we get somebody vulnerable getting focus fired, they may just straight up go down. This is the shittiest dungeon layout I have ever seen. This is a fucking atrocity. Well, the only logical way to attack it is to go the short route first so we can minimize our backtracking. We are going to keep a very sharp eye on our light level. So fungal grabbers are surprised. Something else they tweaked is the way light levels and surprise work. If you have high light, you're much more likely to surprise your enemies. If you don't have light, you're way, way more likely to get surprised. So it's a bit of a trade-off. Nice critical from Dorian Gray right out of the bat. Stress mechanics have changed quite a bit. There is, once you get full on stress as well now, as you can see, it has a 200 instead of 100, which it formerly went to. Once you get full to 100 stress, you have your moment of crisis or whatever it is, which basically means you freak out and become hateful or paranoid or whatever it is. Once that accrues, though, your stress meter doesn't empty. And if it goes all the way up and fills up again to 200, your character has a heart attack and dies. We're going to see if we can kill this first fungal grabber and save our point-blank shot for next time. There we go. Got that guy dead. We'll see if we can get our point-blank shot off into that guy before he gets a chance to go. Little escape cloud. 2 damage. Nothing to be too terrified about. The blight is a little unfortunate, but we can deal with it. Never mind. We're not going to need the point-blank shot because Dorian Gray is 2 for 2 in the critical department. I'm quite proud of you, Dorian. Does Fagin even have trinkets? Did I remember to give him trinkets at all? I bet I didn't. Yeah, I'm an idiot. So Fagin's speed may be a problem, since he doesn't have any of his customary speed trinkets. A little unfortunate. Maybe we'll get lucky and stumble across one. Yeah, 4 more damage is not really a big deal. Let's move Fagin back to the front. Actually, I would still, even though he may not go first, I still do want him to try and get his point-blank shots. You know, let's... Sticky Sap is anti-venom? Yep. What do we get? 250 gold, a bleed charm, which is crap. Yeah, it's fine. They did also upgrade, I think the drop rate for trinkets is something that's been increased, or they tweaked the drop rate for trinkets as well. So just another, they've made a lot of changes. Of course, the, alright, interesting. The full change list, of course, is posted if you want to just check the Darkest Dungeon website. That's not good, Fagin. Probably would have been better off, actually, to have Brienne take a shot at that for us. Dorian, nope. It's going to have Dorian Gray open this, but Fagin's being a greedy prick, which is fully appropriate, because Fagin was kind of a greedy prick. Light level's going back to 100. Again, I am not yet ready to try a full-on dark run in this. The darkness runs, they've really upped the danger of dark. You're way more likely to miss. Your troopers get fantastically more stress in the darkness. They've just really made full-on dark considerably more difficult. So it used to be just kind of a trade-off if you traded loot for potential stress, but now it's not only way more stressful, it's considerably more dangerous as well. I want that Rabid Gnasher gone because I hate Rabid Gnashers with a passion. 5-point heal from Chrysania is not the most fantastic output we've ever gotten, but we'll take it. If it's what we can get, it's what we'll take. No point giving Brienne a damage debuff. Nice critical and stress reduction there from Brienne. Comes the escape cloud again. Man, they have really apparently upped the connect percentage on the blight from escape cloud. They're 2 for 2 on us. You know, we could probably use a weird reconstruction. 4 heal is all you got there. Not fantastic there, Dorian. Needed a little more. Another escape cloud. This time we dodged. Little groping swipe. Man, the speed on you guys is really kind of substandard, I have to admit. I'm a little disappointed. 10 points for you, sir, and it's going to be then a nice wicked hack that, for whatever reason, didn't manage to finish you off. This is not going well for us, actually. Give me a big heal. Also, the big heal seems to be considerably less big than it used to be. I'm actually spreading my damage out in the stupidest possible pattern when I should be focusing it down. Give me a... Thank you. Thank you for cleaning up my mess, Fagin. I kind of fucked that up, and I appreciate you digging me out of my own hole there. Do we need deeds? I don't even think we need deeds. We can just skip that. There could theoretically be medicine down here, although I have to say, so far, we haven't really found anything approaching medicine. For which I'm feeling a bit salty. Yes, I'm absolutely going to use this. I'll take the additional food. 4 food, and I'm going to eat it. So, on the plus side, eating you can critical heals now, by the way, if you just noticed that. That's something else that can happen. Critical heals are a thing, no matter how the heal comes in, all heals can now critical. They also added a thing called being eaten, where you eat until you're full, to the point where you've eaten so much you can't eat anymore, and you can't use any more food healing. You can get stuffed and not be able to heal through food anymore. So we found some of the powerful medicine. It's a hunger prompt. That's something I'm curious about. What if you get a hunger prompt and you've just gorged yourself and can't eat anymore? How does that stack? You can bleed, right? Yeah, you're just kind of resistant to it. Let's do it anyway. I'd rather you not be in the front against this ghoul, and this has me terrified. Stress is... actually, they may have toned down the howl a bit. And I, for one, don't have a problem with that, because howl was kind of fucking out of control, actually. So maybe they've toned that down a little. They have tweaked all monsters, though, or at least many of the monsters, especially with the way their AIs operate. Nice critical from Chrysania. And with regards to the tweak, I did tinker around, like I said earlier today, with just kind of an off-camera save starting fresh. And one of the things I found to be kind of debilitating for the early game is that you can't pick your skills. You just, of course, get whatever skills you randomly have assigned when you get off of the stagecoach. And that makes it real problematic for having reasonable groups or groups that sort of work together in cohesion like a strong team needs to do. It really is a severe hindrance. Some of the early missions are really tough when you have to fight your way to try and unlock the guild so that you can get people the skills that they need and that you want them to have. Very tricky. So, all in all, they've really added a lot of new dynamics to the overall gameplay in Darkest Dungeon. The content update has added a ton. The 3 new bosses, as well as I understand, haven't fought any of them yet, but they all look very interesting. All considerably different than the bosses that are in the game. As well, the other thing that they've done, they added new dynamics, new abilities to the bosses as the bosses go up in difficulty. As their difficulty scales up, their behaviors change and their abilities change as well. So the Necromancer Lord isn't just a slightly more powerful version of the Necromancer Apprentice anymore. He has some different overall abilities and employs them in different fashions. Pretty damn cool stuff. But enough of that. Let's talk about what's going on here. So far, I'm still feeling pretty okay about the way we're progressing. The layout, of course, was shit, but there's nothing we can do about that. We're 1/3 of the way to our goal. I'm going to be a little salty if the last chunk of medicine is in our final compartment. That'll be shitty. Also, I was hoping in this... God damn, this greedy... We got to get rid of Curious, or Greed, or whatever it is that's making him stash this shit. 300 gold, we'll take it. One thing I was kind of hoping for that they didn't add in the new patch, I was hoping that they would make it so that quest items like Powerful Medicine didn't actually take up a slot in your inventory. It really sucks to have quest objectives taking up valuable inventory space that you kind of need for more important things. Torchlight going back up. I'm doing a full-on light run here. Curious about what the gold output is going to be like in a light run versus a full-on dark run. But I don't want to really risk a whole... I'm kind of risking lives going in sort of sight unseen, but I don't want to just be ridiculously stupid about it and go full-on balls to the wall risky and go straight into a dark run. That seems a little foolhardy, so we're going to be a little more conservative. Would have liked to see Chrysania bring the lightning there enough to get a kill, but no dice. Let's go for a Grape Shot Blast. Didn't quite finish him off. The guy has 1 fucking health. He's lingering like a cranberry song. 2 damage from Chrysania. Fortunately, the full ranks mean he won't be spawning any additional troopers. I would prefer a breakthrough here, actually. And we got 1 KO, but not on the unit I was hoping to get the KO on. This slime is probably going to Cytokinesis. Nope, he just slimed. He slimed me, Ray. Which is good. I'm glad he didn't Cytokinesis me, Ray, because then we'd have had to catch 2 ghosts. That man is dead. A little bit of heal. All in all, I think things are... they're doing all right. Not fantastic, but, you know, things could be considerably worse. I don't think you can... you know what, let's go the citrine on the floor. That's fine. It's kind of garbage anyway. I think we'll camp. We don't really need to camp, though. Then again, this is probably an heirloom chest, and we don't really need heirlooms either. Yeah. We have 2 keys, so we may as well use one.
Wealth beyond measure.
And we'll take whatever we can take, and the rest of it can stay. We don't need... Do we need busts? We actually might need busts. Mostly we just need crests. We'll leave them. I'm not that concerned about it, really. Got some scouting. Alright, so a chance for medicine on the way to our next room. It could be located in that box. Should be the only thing we encounter on the way. Hunger prompts seem to have gone way, way up. We've gotten a lot of hunger prompts and not necessarily a whole lot of ground. And no, you can leave those deeds. We don't need them. I'm pretty sure we have actually 0 use for deeds at this point. Mostly we just need crests. For the Nomad Wagon and the Survivalist is what we're still working on upgrading. Apparently Survivalists are really into heraldry, so they're, you know, very interested in family crests and the like. Another thing they did change in the content update, they have updated the way marked works, as well as the penalties from debuffs. They've changed them and made debuffs, as I understand it, made them vastly more powerful and more worth using. And marked units, if you get marked by the enemies are vastly more likely to target a unit that has been marked. So if you get marked by an enemy, you're going to get a little bit of focus fire. We're going to have Chrysania take a quick heal there. And get the kill, and then we can just start chopping this guy into chunks. 16 damage. The ghouls, I have to say, don't really seem that much more dangerous. Coming into this in crews that weren't fully outfitted with decent trinkets and kind of advanced weaponry, however, would be, I have to say, considerably more intimidating, actually. They have toned down heals overall, since heals can critical now. That is one of the things that they kind of toned down to help compensate. Heals have a slightly lower aggregate healing advantage. They heal slightly less. Skull toss, that's going to get us some stress. 14, that's not terrible. Let's just keep stacking the bleeds on this guy. I really don't want Fagin in front to get whacked, and that's fatal damage regardless of what else happens. There you go.
Prodigious size alone does not
Poor Mr. Ghoul needed a blood transfusion and just couldn't find a match. And that's what happens when you're type O negative, sir. It's a bitch. You're the universal donor, but when it comes to the recipient side, kind of fucked. Gonna dig up whatever's in this shallow grave. Nothing we can even take. Yeah, you know, packs laden with loot are often low on supplies, narrator. That's well observed, and I'm a little salty about that fact, in fact. That fact, in fact. Empty room. Alright, we should have at least 1 medicine in that room. Looks like we may need a shovel for the... Nope. Ah, the Tenacious Crones. Crones, something that have been vastly changed as well. Fagin taking a little bit of a Ren. That's... Oh, and Blight on the Ren now. That's unfortunate. So, let's mark the Crone. I want her as weak as possible. They have toughened the Crones up quite a bit. They're actually just overall more dangerous, more powerful. They've got more hit points. They have a considerably higher dodge than they used to as well. And some of their powers have been altered. As you can see, they can double up on a stress attack, which is kind of bullshit. So, we're going to kill her straight away. Fagin taking some damage from the Blight. Nice critical. Way to fire back, Fagin. I'm proud of you, buddy. That's going to get us a little stress back. They did also, another thing they changed for the dark runs, which makes them more difficult vis-a-vis stress. They actually lowered the critical rate for your troopers in the darkness as well. One other thing they added is you can also deliberately put your torch out now as well, which I think is a very interesting mechanic. You can actually, I'll just do it here so you can kind of see. You can shift-click, lowers your torch level by 1/4, or you can shift control-click and put it out entirely. So you can control what light you're on. You don't have to walk around and wait for it to go out. You can just straight up do it from the get-go. And the gods giving me a nice little favor in return. Since I burned a torch to kind of demonstrate that, giving me 1 back. I appreciate it, Darkest Dungeon gods. It's very kind of you. This is going to be medicine then. So let's have old Dorian grab the medicine, and we're going to have to throw something in the dirt. Goodbye, deeds. Not that we were interested in those necessarily anyway. And we'll continue on. I'm going to save our camp for final tally, just in case, if we have stress problems towards the end. And we'll go ahead and use it. Yeah, let's wait till we're all the way down. Let's dig our way through this, then we'll use a torch. Come on, dig through the thicket. Burn a torch just to bump our light level back up, and continue onward. 86 light, that'll be enough to get us through here. It's not blazing starlight like the narrator likes to brag on all the time, but 86 is good enough to give us some bonuses. And there's our final chunk of medicine, potentially. And I may do my patented move wherein my hubris gets the better of me. I don't recall what the thing you use on troubling effigies is. Might be medicinal herbs. You know what? Let's just... Yeah, alright. It does nothing. I was going to say, we'll just have Dorian Gray inspect it. I do love inspecting strange things with occultists. They just seem to have the best luck. They really do. How much heal do you get out of food, Fagin? It criticaled for 4. I'll take it. That's good. I really like that food heals can critical. I knew heals could critical. They didn't specifically mention food, but that's a fantastic addition. Holy shit, have they buffed the Blighted Giant. That guy has 99 health. So, yeah, we're going to have to debuff that guy. 99 health. That is a fucking ton of health. Wow, that guy can really take a beating now. Alright, well, we're going to do what we can. Rabid Rush, not really a problem. Bleeding and rabies. You know, worse things have happened. Sure, nobody wants to bleed, nobody wants to get rabies, but again, worse things have happened. You know, that it says heal 7 to 8, but it healed 5. You're a Blight at us, which we resisted. I'm curious why that healed less than what the tooltip says. Curiouser and curiouser, said Alice. Dorian Gray, nice little facial stabbing. Gonna try and slit the throat of a Rabid Gnasher. Didn't really pan out, but Chrysania is gonna finish him off with some nice critical damage for us. Still rolling along. We got a lot of Giant to kind of carve our way through here, so let's get to work. 22 damage critical from Fagin is a fine start. Nicely done, sir. Let's keep applying the bleed. Gonna keep working that bleed. Working the jab, working the jab. Tree Branch Smackdown. A very lucky dodge. As I understand it, they have upped the damage on Tree Branch Smackdown considerably. The Giant dodged a point-blank shot. That may be the first time I've seen that happen. 9 damage from old Dorian Gray. Keeps chewing it out. 3 more on top of 18. More bleed. Really stacking it up. There he goes. Tree Branch Smackdown. Again, Brienne with the dodge. Too wise a warrior is Brienne to be hit by that feeble attack. She's not having any of it. 1 more bleed. That should be fatal damage, yep. So he's bleeding for 12. 12 around at 3 per round. You know what? That guy's going to bleed to death. Let's have Dorian Gray patch himself up. Nice heal from Dorian. You know, a critical weird reconstruction is really going to be a remarkable thing, now that I think about it. Criticaling on weird reconstruction is going to heal a truckload. It'd be a nice addition. And it does sort of expand the utility of the occultist as maybe a solo healer. It really does give him more opportunities to run alone. I'll throw a bandage on the ground. I want the gold. The crests, I also kind of want the crests, actually. Fuck this key. I'm taking crest. I'd rather have crest than a key. And we can use the holy water on this fountain. Should be a stress reliever. Yeah, there we go. That's good. I'm trying to keep Chrysania's stress as absolutely low as possible because we're probably going to need Chrysania on our next mission to boot, since I think both Lucy and Madeline are doing having a little me time. That was fantastic loot. 2,000 gold and some food. That's a nice loot crate right there, folks. No. I'm not giving somebody slow or clumsy or some other negative speed quirk. Not going to happen. Let's just go ahead and max it.
Spirits are lifted.
Spirits are lifted, and purpose is fulfilled and made clear. So still haven't figured out the wiggly fountain. I gotta say, that's I'm feeling a little remiss for having not done any kind of research and or study. Do kind of want to figure it out, though. I do like playing games blind. I don't necessarily like knowing everything about a game before I go in to play it, but I still have yet to kind of conjure up how the squiggly Arthur thing really works. I'm not sure what interactable you're supposed to put on it, and it seems like every time I get to the point where I find one, I'm almost out of interactables in my inventory. Man, the criticals here.
About to break.
A not inconsiderate amount of stress there. Well, it is a very... Oh, shit. So was that a critical... Okay, that's a mark attack. Very interesting. I want that crone dead. Please kill the crone. Thank you. We got a lot of stress, actually, out of that. In aggregate, man, that's... Yeah, we got quite a bit of stress there. From just one fight with a crone. And again, my fucking hubris gets me every time I complete the mission and continue going, even against my better judgment. Although this time we haven't completed the mission yet, so I'm not fully at fault, but still. I'm going to complete the dungeon regardless of whether this is the end or not, because I'm completely filled with my own shit.
A trifling victory, but a victory.
Theoretically, we could sleep. You know what? What goes on in Eldritch Alder? A torch, maybe? Nope. Well, it's Eldritch Dorian Gray. Go see what it is. Shattering an illness within. He's no longer a gambler. So touching a crazy shrine in a dungeon has cured Dorian Gray of his gambling addiction. Now, let this be a lesson to anybody who's addicted to gambling. All it takes to get cured of that, apparently, is to wander around in the basement of a mysterious haunted fortress until you find a magical shrine, and that magical shrine will cure you of your gambling. You gotta be kidding me with the whole trap thing here. Nope. Brienne is actually our best trap finder. Far better than Fagin. She got the job done as well. Can't really falter. How's our light look? 76. That's torch-worthy. Let's burn one.
The way is lit.
Also, you know, if you want to go have a smoke, that's fine. Go ahead and go burn one. This room looks like it's going to be pretty goddamn uninteresting because it just has medicine in it. But we'll take our medicine. I don't know where we're going to put it at this point. Let's get rid of that torch. We'll take the medicine. We have enough light that we can do. We might as well. Do I want to do another fight? This room is empty. Why not? The more experience we get, the better we're going to be overall. Also, this fight isn't really anything to worry about. Now watch, Doctor Strange. All of them will attack twice in a row before we get to go, and they'll all target Doctor Strange, or Dorian Gray, rather, and he'll get killed. Or perhaps not. We might be able to kill that maggot before it goes, and these things are almost certainly wiped out. Alright then. So everything went sort of according to plan. We're doing fine. Looks like we're going to come out of the dungeon in reasonably good shape. Gotten some kills there. We are going to make it to this last room. We'll pitch a camp. Yeah, I don't want any of that shit. Can I take any of that shit? No. Alright, well, we'll just leave it on the ground then. So, we basically fought that fight for whatever is in this box, and an extra hunger prompt is the other reason we fought that fight. It's a desiccated old mummy. That's Dorian Gray job. Of course there are treasures hidden within the remains. Dorian Gray looked in there. Unfortunately, yeah, you know what? I'll throw the shovel on the ground for 50 gold. Why the hell not? We don't need the shovel, so we should keep moving. We are moving. We'd actually be moving right now, Fagin, if you weren't sort of chatting and running our ear off. And let's camp. Get some stress relief then. All in all, I feel pretty... Holy crap! Camp heals can critical too. Fantastic. Very pleased by that, I gotta say. Feeling good. 3 stress, 17 stress, 10 stress, 3 stress. Alright, so who can do what? You could revel and get rid of your own stress. Gives you a penalty or a debuff that doesn't really matter. Untouchable. Or cleaning your guns, not really useful. You could abandon hope, which reduces your stress by 25. Gives everybody else 5 stress. 3. Yeah, you know what? Do that, actually. So you're going to abandon hope, and then we're going to have you revel. That gets rid of your stress, and that just leaves... Well, you have less. You only have 7, so we're going to have you encourage Fagin. That's going to get rid of 10 of his. And I believe that's about all we can do. Oh, no, what? We can still chant, so let's do that. And we could chant or we could pray. Oh, actually, we can chant and pray. All right, we'll chant with Fagin. 5 stress relief for him. That gets him out of the thing. And praying did nothing. All right, well, we're done then. We'll abandon mid-camp, get out while our stress situation is solid. How'd we do on gold? We made money. I was going to say we at least broke even, but we actually turned a reasonable profit on that mission. So we did all right. Picked up 18 crests as well, and some very valuable experience for some of our troopers, although Dorian Gray nor Fagin either achieved Dissolving 4, which is a little depressing. One thing I've also noticed in the new patch, you seem to be way, way, way more likely to get negative quirks. As you can see here, something I've noticed, like even on the tutorial mission, I had guys come out, both the 2 characters that went through the tutorial both came out with a negative quirk. Shocker is kind of shitty, and Winded is fucking terrible, actually. Early Riser, eh. Steady, eh. So we did okay. We do have some quirks that we're going to probably want to get rid of. Lucy Pevensey and Madeline Usher both back, having recovered 70 stress, which leaves both of them completely stress-free. Fantastic. Let's head down to the stagecoach, because I want to see if we've got either a man-at-arms or an arbalest. We have 2 man-at-arms. Fantastic. Well, we're recruiting one of these guys. Theoretically, we should possibly consider recruiting a leper as well. Let's take a look at his abilities. Chop. They have changed Revenge quite a bit. As you can see, plus 40 damage. They took the accuracy penalty off of Revenge. Mostly because lepers were kind of terrible. Withstand is pretty good. Solemnity is not that great. Intimidate they also changed. It's considerably better now, as I understand. It does do considerably less damage, however. But it gives the target a debuff and can move them back. You know, let's hold off on the whole leper thing. I'm not really sure that's the leper for us. Is any leper the leper for you? Yeah, maybe you're into that kind of thing. And if you are, there's definitely a leper out there for you. This guy is compulsive and anemic. Do we have a man-at-arms who doesn't know? He has Dacnomania and Holy shit, that's fucking terrible. Alright, well, let's, I guess, pick up Boisevon here, because good goddamn, that other ability was straight up trash. That's some awful shit. But he's a wheeled adventurer and a wheeled explorer. He's compulsive and anemic. Interesting. He has courage, which is good. Tactics, all companions plus 10 dodge. That's really good. Weapons practice. 10 accuracy plus 20% damage plus 3 crit. Wow, that's fantastic. Let's look at his abilities. Crush is just a regular bash attack that hits the front 3 ranks from the first or second slot. Little bonus to crit. Rampart. Moves him forward 1. Does very little damage. Has a slight bonus to crit. Knockback and stun on the target. Very interesting. Bellow. Gives all the enemies -5 dodge, -5 speed. That's actually pretty good. Defender. This is a must-have. This is sort of the signature ability. As you can see, the party guard ally. It gives him huge protection bonuses, which lets him sort of tank a lot of damage. Protection on the man-at-arms is high as hell. They have very little dodge, but they're very durable. And then he takes a hit for an enemy. It's a very good ability. Retribution. Self. Plus 10% protection. Marks target and activates riposte. I guess riposte is if the enemy swings at him, he swings back, perhaps? Command. Give a target plus 5 accuracy. That seems kind of mediocre. Bolster. Give a target plus 5 dodge and plus 2 speed. Also seems kind of mediocre, actually. I mean, basically, Simkin could do that for the whole group. He can do it from any position, which is useful. Rampart seems really interesting. We're definitely picking this guy up. We're adding him to the team. There's no doubt about that. So, welcome aboard, sir. You have been recruited, and I'm quite glad to have you on the team.
The raw strength of youth may be spent, but his eyes hold the secrets of 100 campaigns.
100 campaigns. Very good. Wow, he's a very experienced guy. All right, so let's take him over to the blacksmith. We'll upgrade his gear as best we can. We can't upgrade him at all because he's resolve rank 0, and I'm an idiot. Can he go to the guild? Actually, can... No. But we can buy him Rampart, which I'm vastly more interested in than, say, Crush. Crush does not look like a particularly fantastic ability. Rampart seems vastly more useful. And the last thing we'll do then is give this guy a name, because while Boisevon seems kind of cool, my man-at-arms is Garret fucking Jax. Garret Jax, the weapons master, the man who killed the Jachira. Welcome aboard, Garret, and you should be truly a fantastic man-at-arms with a name like Garret Jax. And with Garret aboard and full of the team, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Your support really does mean a lot to us. And if you'd like to see more Darkest Dungeon, including all of the Fiends and Frenzy content we can muster, consider subscribing as well. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Right now, however, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you again soon.